What is up, you guys? It's your boy Shady Luke back with another video. And on today's video, man, I just want to talk about the Miami Dolphins. The Miami Dolphins are such an interesting team, dude. They got so many moving parts. They got drama with Tyreek Hill, man, and I just really want to dive into it, man. I mean, starting off with Tyreek Hill, just the way he was talking in the offseason and everything that's happened. And recently we saw Tua, saying that like he's basically trying to repair all of those relationships with all of his teammates. Right now they're talking about him possibly being traded. And I mean, his numbers dipped, you know. He went from having like 1,400 receiving yards to like 900 something receiving yards. He's what was he like? He's like a 31, 32-year-old wide receiver. Just a lot of drama there with Tyreek Hill. And honestly, just with the trajectory of like how things are looking and some of the players that you heard in the offseason along with like Tyreek Hill, but then you had Jalen Ramsey just kind of talking about just the way he's talking about the team. Basically, it's almost as if he doesn't respect, it's pretty much like he doesn't respect McDaniels, and that's not what you want as a coaching staff. And I know, certain different coaches have their different style, and Mike McDaniels is really, super laid back, chill guy. It's just not really the type of vibe you want to have. But this is a season where they really need to figure things out. They really do. They really need to figure things out. And if this Tyreek Hill stuff is true, the trading Tyreek Hill, if that's something, I think they need to trade Tyreek Hill. I really do. I mean, you look at this team, they don't have a lot of playmakers on the defensive side anymore. Like, if I look at their defense, the only playmakers I see are Bradley Chubb, Jalen Phillips, and Zach Sealer on their defense. On their defense, that's really all I see as playmakers. You trade Tyreek Hill, I'm not saying you're going to get a ton for him because he's, like I said, he's older. You're not going to get a ton. Get something for him. You need to move off that dude and try to get some type of asset because I don't think it's best for your team. Like I said, Miami's trying to figure out some stuff, and I just don't think him on his play in the decline. I mean, the offense took a dip as well, along with him, just in the stuff going on this last year. 22nd scoring offense, 20.3, right? And this Miami offense was super exciting at one point. I know they've dealt with some injuries, but they're an exciting offense. And McDaniels, I think he's a creative mind. I really do. I think he's a creative mind. And just the way he runs his offense, it gives me like a college vibe. Along with that, it's kind of like there's a lot of excitement, but things have kind of fizzled out. So that's something that he's going to need to figure out. Along with Tua, because Tua hasn't been the most healthiest, right? Tua has dealt with some stuff with his health. I really like Tua. Like I really do like Tua. There was a time when I really wasn't the biggest fan of Tua, but I'm more of a fan now than I was in the past. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, what 2,867 passing yards, 19 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. Nothing crazy, right? But this is the one thing I appreciate about Tua. He's such an accurate quarterback. He's extremely accurate. 72.9 in completion percentages last year. Along with that, there's a lot of question marks. There's a lot of question marks on this team. The offense has its flaws as well. The offensive line I do not like. I do not like Miami's offensive line. And when Tua gets pressure and things are like not on script, on time, that's when things start to get kind of crazy. Like things start to get pretty saucy, honestly. I love Jalen Waddle. I really love Jalen Waddle. Devon Achane, super good. Pretty interesting in the backup quarterbacks. You have Zach Wilson. You got Quinn Ewers. That's a pretty good backup lineup, in my opinion. Pretty good backup lineup. There's a lot of rumbling around Tua. They just signed him to a contract. You can expect him to be there, for the coming years, 2 to 3. We don't really know what's going to happen with the coaching staff. I want to see McDaniel's there, but he really needs to figure out what's going on this year because there's so many mysteries with Miami. Um, their defense, you look at their defensive numbers and like 21.4 points per game gave up, 6th in opponent points per game, 314, 8th in rushing yards per game, 103, 10th in passing yards per game, 210. Opponent red scoring percentage per game, 5th. They're the 5th best defense at 49. I know the kind of drawback from that, people would be like, well, look at their schedule. Look at some of the teams that they're playing. And I understand that. And if you do look at some of the teams that they did go up against, they weren't as good against the better teams. There were a couple teams that they were good against that were good. But for the most part, if you look at in division against the Bills, they get swept by the Bills. A year before they were better, but this year they got swept by the Bills. And going into this year, people were like, yeah, the Bills are going to be good, but people weren't as high on the Bills as they were in past years. So that's another problem in division. And then you got the Patriots. The Patriots are a team that is on the uppity up, and they swept the Patriots. But this year, it's like, are they going to split with the Patriots, or are they going to get swept by the Patriots? In my eyes, right now, I see Miami as I have them as number 2. I know there's so many people that are high on the New England Patriots, Drake May and Mike Vrabel. I am high, and I think that the Patriots are on the trend up. But I still put Miami as second in that division for now. This is all just speculation with New England because I have a lot of faith in Drake May that he's going to be better. And in the next 2 to 3 years, I expect New England to be second in the division, if not first, over the Bills. But right now, I still put Miami in that second spot. I do. Just, there's some question marks with New England. Like I said, they're on the uptrend. But right now, I still have Miami right there. But Miami, like I'm talking about, they have their flaws. And they need to figure it out. But I really do think that trading Tyreek Hill away and getting rid of that headache, the stuff he's saying in the offseason was crazy. He was talking crazy. You got to get rid of that dude. Older wide receiver, nah, man. I'm not saying he can't play, but you got to get rid of that shit, bro. You look at their schedule. I honestly don't think it's the toughest schedule. And if you're Mike McDaniel, you got to go out and rack up like 8 to 9 wins. Like 9 to 10 to kind of shut up a lot of the media and a lot of fans talking, dude. Toughest teams they honestly play are Cincinnati, who wasn't a playoff team, but let's be real, they could be in the playoffs this year. Even with all the dysfunction, Cincinnati could get into the playoffs. And they're going to be a tough matchup. No question. Joe Burrow in that offense against Miami's defense, tearing them apart, honestly, with not a lot of playmakers on that side. I can see it. And then you got Tampa Bay. Yes, Baker Mayfield could torch that defense. Tampa Bay. So you got Cincinnati, Tampa Bay, Washington. Washington they should be better this year. I don't know if they're going to make it to the championship game again, but this is the second year with Jaden Daniels, and I expect him to be better. So that's another good offense with a quarterback who we already consider top 10. Then you got Baltimore. We all know how good Baltimore is. And then you got the Chargers. Chargers should be better as well. So, let me see. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5 teams outside of the division. And then you have the Bills in division. That's 2 games. That's going to be a tough game. You could get swept again like you did this year. And then you have New England. And like I said, I have Miami as the second best team in that division. But I just don't know how good the Patriots are going to be this year. If they turn up and they're a 10 to 11 win team, then I'm sure they're going to give Miami problems, and that's another 2 games that you have to worry about, right? And then the Jets, that could go either way with the Jets. I think Miami could win those games. But right there, that's, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9. 9 games. 9 games of Miami against opponents that, is really a worry for me. It's really a worry. And I just really worry about Mike McDaniel. He really they really need to figure this out. Their offense was kind of their backbone. Miami's offense was their backbone, and that's what everybody talked about. They were the flashy team, putting up a ton of points, got the fast, speedy wide receivers, quick routes. They got the quick motion, hit the route. But they need to figure it out because this last year, it just wasn't hitting. And here's the thing with Miami. That year they put up, what was it? What was it? They put up like a 70 burger or something on the Broncos. This team was the flashy offense. Miami was the Miami Dolphins are the flashy offense. When you see them go up against tough defenses, that's where they really struggle. And if you're going to be a flashy offense, all to you. That's okay. But when you get waxed by a tough defense, there's something wrong with that offense. And that's what Mike McDaniel really needs to figure out, because it's not going to work. It's not going to work, especially when you get into the playoffs. We saw what happened when they went into cold Kansas City and got messed up in that cold game, in that playoff game a couple years back. So they need to figure that out. Man. He needs to switch up some things, tweak the offense, because this ain't gonna cut it against the better defenses. Flashy and finesse doesn't work against physical defense. It just don't. But I don't know, man. You tell me. Miami's got some things to figure out. I'm really torn because I really do like their offense and I love the way they play, but it gives me Chip Kelly vibes. It gives me a little bit of Chip Kelly vibes, and that's not good. So Miami needs to figure it out. So we'll see what they got going on this year, man. But they need to trade Tyreek Hill. I really do believe that they need to trade Tyreek Hill, but I don't know, man. You guys let me know in the comments. Miami fans, let me know what you think. Other fans, drop in the comments. Am I off or am I on with Miami? Guess we'll see. Only time will tell. Season starts pretty soon. But anyways, guys, drop a like and be sure to subscribe to your boy. All we do here is talk football, and we drop dope football content. Let me know anything you want. Let's see if we can make a video for it. Anyways, guys, appreciate you watching. I'm outie, and I'll catch you on the next one. Deuces.
You good? Yeah, let's go.